Well, thank you for this question. Uh, the question, I think, is about what has happened at the National Assembly between the Senate President, His Excellency, the distinguished Senator Akpabio, and the Senator from Kogi State, Natasha. Well, I can air my views based on the fact that I was once at the National Assembly and I was involved in a certain controversies, which of course will help in terms of educating or enlightening people to understand the issues on the ground. First and foremost, the issues between the senator from Kogi State and the Senate President was not about Nigerians. It wasn't about the insecurity in the country. It wasn't about poverty in the country. It wasn't about the lawlessness in parts of the country. It wasn't about inflation. It wasn't about the price of goods. It wasn't about the electricity tariff. It wasn't about the telecommunication tariff. It wasn't about VAT. It wasn't about tax reform. It wasn't about the policies and programs of government which people feel strongly about. It was simply about the sitting arrangement in the Senate. Now, it's important for people from outside to understand that every senator you see sitting or standing, he is speaking from a seat that is allocated to him with his name tag. And it is in the rule book of the Senate, a very small red book, where the guiding principles of being in the Senate and behaving like a senator, and also your duties and responsibility as a senator is clearly spelled out. The relationship between the Senate President and other senators is not like that of a lecturer and students. All senators are equal, but there must be order, there must be organogram, and that is why we have a Senate President, and then we have principal officers, and then we have ranking senators, and then we have senators who were just coming to the Senate, which you can refer to them as rookies. Now, the issue is about seats, and then it escalated to a sexual allegation that happened in 2023, which is about 2 years ago. Now, this is a democracy. People have a right to freely express their opinion. Why are the senators not disagreeing on policies of government? Why are they all agreeing on everything? And why is it that Nigerians were not invited to any controversy other than the personal one that exists between the Senate President and the senator from Kogi State? So I think it's important that we try to use our sense of judgment and conscience to arrive at a point that we are simply airing an opinion on issues that does not directly affect the life of the ordinary man in the country. And with all sense of responsibility, if there is such a grievous issue that happened on sexual allegation in 2003, why wait for it now? Why wait for it until an issue now sparked it up? There is no doubt about it. If you will use your sense of reasoning to see that there was a certain time when the going was good between the two senators, and the public never heard about it until when things get to this level. So why should we wait? And normally in this National Assembly, if you have a cause to champion for which you see the Senate President being an obstacle to it or being in violation of it, you need to consult other members. If you are from the opposition, you need to consult your members of the opposition so that they will back you up. And that is why you see most times when senators get into trouble, they simply have no backing from any quarters. I nearly got suspended in the Senate when I publicly disclosed the allowances and salaries of senators, if not for the magnanimity of Saraki and Ekweremadu, who came to my rescue, and or if not for divine intervention, I could have also earned a 6-month suspension. It is there in the rule book, and it's within the discretion of the Senate President to initiate such process. And people should know when any senator is suspended, not just Natasha, there are a lot of penalties that goes along with it, one of which is that your salaries and allowances will be suspended, your office will be sealed, you will be denied entry to the chamber, and you will not participate in any committee function or oversight function, and you are even not expected to be seen within the premises of National Assembly. So it is part of the punishment of suspension. So if the cause that became the controversy was about national issues, people have seen other senators getting involved somehow. And let's go back to history and see what led to suspension of some other senators. If I can remember, Senator Ningi was suspended last year or year before for raising issues that has to do with the budget. And Senator Omoagege was suspended in the 8th Senate for allegedly leading a group of thugs to steal the maize. And Senator Ndume was also suspended. So if you look at the reasons for such suspension for all the previous senators and then compare it to what is happening now, you'll be able to reach a judgment. So I can say that Nigerians should be more interested in pressurizing and mobilizing their senators to stand for issues. And personal issues are not things which, when they get sour, that people will be dragged into it. Whatever you say about it, what became the controversy today is not about the welfare of Nigerians, the well-being of Nigerians, the governance in Nigeria, the future of Nigeria, and all those things. Yeah. So I think this should be what we should take cognizance of.